everyone, Sergeant Argerbright here. And today, we're going to be reacting to the next part of our Napoleonic series, which is Napoleon's Revenge. In the last episode, Napoleon and his really great generals were shot and they died. And he lost thousands of troops. Not only that, but he ended up majorly losing a battle against the Austrians. The same force that he humiliated just a couple of years earlier. So yeah, very interesting. But yeah, he's gonna get his revenge. Let's see how that plays out.
An epic.
Oh my god, that is loud.
History TV.
Jesus. Okay, let's do that.
An epic history TV History March collaboration.
Oh, that's.
In May 1809. The Austrians had defeated Napoleon's army in the bloody Battle of Aspern. His enemies took heart. After years of French military dominance, it seemed the tide was turning at last. 3 weeks later...
No, not really. I mean, the French they still took Vienna, and they're still in your country, and they still did a lot of damage to your military. You're screwed.
Pope Pius VII excommunicated Napoleon for annexing papal land.
Oh, wow.
Another propaganda coup for his enemies. But in the wake of its victory, Austria hesitated, not sure whether to seek peace or continue the war, while Napoleon responded with a hurricane of activity. He summoned reinforcements to join him under his stepson Eugène de Beauharnais, and 11th Corps under Marshal Marmont, who together driven Archduke John's Austrian army out of North Italy.
Oh, wow. They still have an army up in Poland, though. Look at that. I know he did have some troops in Poland.
As well as Marshal Bernadotte's Saxon 9th Corps. Napoleon's army grew from 90,000 to a massive 164,000 men and 544 guns.
Wow.
To take on Charles's army of 128,000 and 414 guns. 6 weeks after his first attempt had ended in defeat, Napoleon ordered his army to cross the river once more. This time his engineers had built solid bridges across the Danube to ensure there was no repeat of the disasters of Aspern.
Yeah.
For the French army, Napoleon declared.
And if y'all didn't watch the last episode, because some parts have more than the others. Like, this is meant to be chronological. This is just, you can just watch whatever thing you want. But in the last episode, what ended up happening was the Austrians would, put these large objects down the river, and they would, destroy the flimsy bridges. And that really hindered the, Napoleon and his armies.
The Danube no longer exists. The stage was set for the largest battle yet seen in European history.
Oh. It's a good job. You're not any taller. Napoleon to his staff officer whose helmet was knocked off by a cannonball. Wow.
On the evening of the 4th of July, heavy rain, the French began... On the evening of...
Wait, I want to read that. Dang. On
the evening of the 4th of July, heavy rain, the
scary.
French began crossing from the island of Lobau, not towards the devastated villages of Aspern and Essling, but east towards Gross-Enzersdorf, which was soon ablaze from French shells. Archduke Charles had left only a small advance guard to delay the French.
I can't even imagine living in that area. It'd be horrifying.
By dawn, General Massena's 4th Corps and Oudinot's 2nd Corps were driving those troops back, winning space for the French army to deploy. At 1 p.m., Napoleon was ready to begin his advance across 6 miles of flat cornfields towards the main Austrian position, an escarpment known as the Wagram, 100 meters behind the Russbach stream. As General Lassalle's light cavalry and Massena's 4th Corps swung left to guard the flank, Oudinot's 2nd Corps and Davout's 3rd Corps advanced towards the Wagram. Bernadotte's Saxon Corps and Eugene's Army of Italy filled the center. At 6
They seem really exposed to that Austrian artillery.
p.m., unsure of the enemy's strength, Napoleon ordered a full-scale assault against the Wagram Plateau. But his troops met determined Austrian resistance along the line. By dusk, the Saxon 9th Corps had pushed into the village of Deutsch Wagram. The Saxon infantry wore white uniforms, like the Austrians, and as darkness fell, were mistaken for the enemy and fired on by friendly units.
Oh no!
The Saxons panicked and fled with heavy losses. Napoleon's attempt at a quick breakthrough had failed. That night, both armies slept in the open, while Charles and Napoleon planned their next moves. On the 2nd day, Napoleon planned for Davout's 3rd Corps to lead the attack, rolling up the Austrian flank, while his other corps pinned down the enemy with local attacks. But to the Emperor's fury, he learned that overnight, without orders, Marshal Bernadotte had withdrawn his battered Saxons from Adecla, which the Austrians now occupied.
Oh my
Adecla
god!
was a crucial strongpoint in the center of the battlefield.
Oh
Napoleon
no!
gave orders for its immediate recapture. But the French and Saxon attack failed, with heavy losses.
Oh
The
no!
Austrians had their own problems. Archduke
You
Charles,
donkey!
knowing he faced a superior enemy, had decided his only chance of victory lay in an all-out dawn attack. He was relying on his brother, Archduke John, reaching him with 13,000 reinforcements in time to support the attack on the left.
Oh goodness!
But by dawn, there was still no sign of him.
Oh, where the heck
What's
is
more, as 4th Corps began its assault on Grosshofen, on time, 3rd Corps, which had received its orders late, was still getting into position, holding up the entire Austrian right wing. Charles had to tell 4th Corps to abort its unsupported attack until the other corps were ready. With the Austrians paralyzed by delays, at 10 a.m., Davout began his attack.
he? Oh.
A fierce infantry battle erupted in the village of Markgraf Neusiedl, while in the fields, dragoons and hussars fought a giant whirling cavalry battle, as each side tried to outflank the other.
Jeez.
Davout's corps took the village, though they couldn't stop the Austrians withdrawing to a strong new position on the Wagram escarpment.
Oh goodness.
Meanwhile, a serious threat had developed to Napoleon's left flank and rear.
Oh no.
Grenouille's 6th Corps had driven back the outnumbered French, with some units advancing as far as Essling, dangerously close to Napoleon's vital river crossings. Napoleon urgently needed to reinforce his left flank, but he was also determined to hold back his reserves for a decisive attack. So he ordered Massena's 4th Corps to march across the battlefield and reinforce the left. A huge redeployment like this, right in front of the enemy, was high risk. So Marshal Bessières was ordered to lead a cavalry attack straight against the enemy center. Casualties were high. Even Marshal Bessières had his horse killed under him, to the alarm of his men. But the enemy was kept busy, while 4th Corps completed its redeployment and forced Klenau's corps to fall back.
Any trooper who isn't dead by 30 is a coward. I don't anticipate exceeding that length of time. Oh my, everyone's dying. Wow.
Napoleon now assembled a grand battery of more than 80 cannon in the center of the battlefield.
Jeez.
This was one of Napoleon's trademark tactics, the concentration of artillery to blast the enemy line and pave the way for a decisive French attack. The Grand Battery fired an estimated 15,000 rounds, setting light to the cornfields.
Oh my God!
Around 1 p.m., Napoleon ordered a general attack. As Davout continued to batter at the enemy flank, 4th Corps would advance on the left, 2nd Corps on the right, while in the centre, General MacDonald would lead forward 8,000 men of the Army of Italy, formed up in a giant three-sided square to secure his flanks. But despite the terrible French cannonade, Austrian 3rd Corps and Grenadiers of the Reserve met the French advance with torrential fire. MacDonald's giant square was cut to pieces, its men mowed down en masse by cannon fire, and the attack stalled.
That isn't good.
But the Austrian army, battered by relentless French attacks, was near breaking point. Every part of the line was under pressure from the French. Archduke Charles, determined above all to keep his army intact, ordered a retreat. The Austrian withdrawal was disciplined and well executed. Napoleon had his victory. But his army was also so shattered by fatigue and heavy losses, it was unable to launch any effective pursuit.
Wow. It's obvious that you would not have background. Napoleon to a minister who mocked you.
The Battle of Wagram was a brutal slugging match, the biggest and bloodiest battle yet seen in European history. French victory came at unprecedented cost. An estimated...
Oh my gosh. The French end up losing more. Wow.
37,500 casualties against 41,500 Austrian. 4 days later, French troops caught up with the retreating Austrians. That's 9. As the fighting escalated, Charles knew he could not withstand the French a second time and asked for a ceasefire.
Oh gosh.
But he had not consulted his older brother, Emperor Francis, who was furious when he heard the news.
You donkey!
Not least because long-awaited British support was finally on the way.
Oh my gosh.
3 weeks after the Battle of Znaim, the largest amphibious force Britain had ever assembled, 35 ships of the line and 39,000 troops, landed at Walcheren Island on the Scheldt estuary. Its aim was to destroy French shipping and naval stores. But following the successful bombardment and capture of Vlissingen, British commanders let the initiative slip from their grasp. Their force was bottled up by French troops on the marshy Dutch coast, where it was decimated by fever and dysentery.
Oh no.
About 4,000 died. Many more became permanent invalids. The survivors were evacuated back to England in December.
Well, that didn't work.
Emperor Francis, informed of the British debacle and persuaded by his generals that Austria couldn't fight on, made peace with Napoleon. In October, Austria signed the Treaty of Schönbrunn, giving up territory to the French Empire, Bavaria, Saxony,
Oh, that wasn't even that much from Saxon.
territory to the 3.5.
Oh, look how much land they lost. Wait a minute. What?
And Russia.
Oh, they lost land to Russia? Russia? What? Russia even do anything? But yeah, look how much land they lost. They actually lost more than that. Lost that. They lost that. Dang.
In total, the Austrian Empire was stripped of 3.5 million subjects, forced to pay an indemnity, limit its army to 150,000 men,
Oh no.
and join Napoleon's continental system, which meant ending all trade with British ships and merchants.
Oh my gosh, they lost a lot.
Archduke Charles, meanwhile, Meanwhile, one of Napoleon's more skilled opponents had fallen out so bitterly with his brother, Emperor Francis, that he never held active command again.
Oh.
Napoleon had won another crushing victory, but there were worrying signs for the French emperor. His enemies were learning, while he would increasingly have to rely on young conscripts to fill the gaps left by veterans killed or wounded on campaign. Few could have guessed in 1809, but Napoleon had just fought his last victorious campaign.
Wait, what?
You can now
Oh goodness, so after this, that's gonna be Russia, right? Let's see. See what the next episode is. Oh, it's gonna talk about Spain again. Yeah. Wow. Wow. It's so interesting how some of these countries compared to others, like for example, Austria, like twice they just disintegrated when it seemed like not very much land was taken. All they had to do was destroy the Austrian army and then they just make peace. But then with the Prussians in Spain, they were willing to lose like almost all of their land. Hello everyone, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. And turn on the notification bell thingy. And if you didn't, then make sure to leave a thumbs down. But yeah, that would be greatly appreciated. And while you're at it, go ahead and watch my other videos. They're probably just as good, then if not better than this one right now. Except for my oldest videos, don't watch those. And, subscribe to these people down here, my fellow sergeants. They're other YouTubers that I either know or I have in high regards. Yeah, even my cat agrees. So, thank you for watching, and have a great day.